Hello everyone and welcome your faces to the very first Little Nightmares 3 theory video. And it's absolutely crazy. We're finally talking about Little Nightmares 3 and I'm just super excited to get into it. And of course today's video is going to be a very hot topic going into Little Nightmares 3. So I want to get that out of the way first. One of these theories very early out the door. Also to note, the format has changed a little bit, so if there's a few errors every now and then, let me know and I will of course change it. But I'm rocking a new setup and stuff, so hopefully it looks a little bit better. If I'm not looking at you, I do apologise because I'm just getting used to presenting to the camera properly. But I have got script and I've got you there and I've got a theory to tell you about, so let's get into it. Anyway, like I said, this video is going to be a hot topic going into Little Nightmares 3 because it's always something that's been teased from the very beginning, all the way back in Little Nightmares 1. And that's, of course, the broken mirrors. Why are they that way? Who did it? What the hell does it even mean? Wow. I think I have an answer to this, but before we get into it, I wouldn't be a YouTuber if I didn't ask you to hit like and subscribe and do all the usual stuff if you're a fan of Little Nightmares, because we have lots and lots of Little Nightmares content coming your way. And of course, we're trying to hit the goal of 100,000 subscribers by the end of this year, so that would also help us along our way, and I would, of course, appreciate it massively. But anyway, shameless self-promotion out of the way, let's get into this Little Nightmares 3 theory video. It is so weird to finally say that. So, recently the brilliant team at Bandai Namco and Supermassive Games released a brand new trailer for Little Nightmares 3. And in this trailer we can see Lo using the mirrors as a type of portal, or something similar to how Mono uses the TVs in Little Nightmares 2. And for those that aren't still assured who Lo is the child with the raven mask. And notice how I said Lo and not alone, and there's a reason for this. It seems that from the trailer, it seems that Lo is the only one who can possess this ability. From what it looks like, he has some type of control over when and how he uses the mirror, because as we can see, he can touch it without activating this portal or this teleportation, or whatever you want to coin it. But Mono was a little bit different. The moment he touched it, the static begun straight away. Like he had control over the actual signal, but not the actual initiation of the signal. Where with Lo, it's a lot more different. We're actually seeing full control, which is, I assume, quite unique in the world of Little Nightmares at the moment. This also confirms that he can take anyone and anything with him, which is quite an interesting detail. As we know, Six and Mono couldn't do that. They always went on their own, or there was some weird hiccup that happened. But yeah, it's safe to say that Lo is looking to be quite a powerful individual. Now, I don't know where his connection lies within the worlds of Little Nightmares, but I'm very intrigued for what's going to happen. Also, it's worth pointing out that we don't know if Lo's ability actually breaks the mirror once he uses it. It seems that Supermassive Games have done a good job in the trailer of hiding that from us, because I've tried to go through every keyframe and there is not an ounce of remaining mirror footage after they've used it. And of course, we do see in the trailer there is a mirror broken at some point, but we don't know why it's got like that. But prior to the beginning of the trailer as well, it's fine. So we know that something is breaking those mirrors. Seeing Lo use the mirrors like his own transportation system got my smooth brain thinking about what this means for the world of Little Nightmares and where Little Nightmares 3 could be linking up with the rest of the games. I would like to talk a little bit about Little Nightmares 1 and the amount of mirrors that we were using in the game and or didn't use. Not to mention the fact that they were all broken. We always assumed it was something to do with the lady. And it was something to do with maybe she was getting some kind of gain out of doing it. But what if I told you that that is not the whole story? What if I told you, I think, and this is where the theory comes in, I theorized that the lady was protecting the children all this time. One popular opinion I have about the lady is that the nomification process happens because she wants to protect those children. She wants to shield the children in the world of Little Nightmares from everything around her and everything in the world. So I do think that turning them into gnomes is more a protective outlook, and it's a very governess approach to do it, protect the children she's been caring for. And of course the gnomes seem to be quite happy in this throwaway. They have like no predator, and like people just ignore them. I mean, at the best that we saw the janitor react to the gnomes, but I believe that was only because of sound, not necessarily because he of course can see them. And what if I told you there was actually a little bit more going on there? No pun intended. What if the lady is the one who kept all these mirrors around the moor? And what if the moor was actually what it was made out to be? A safe place for the kids? Let me explain. In the trailer we see the necropolis. God, that's gonna be annoying. Let me explain. In the trailer we see the necropolis, crumbled and broken, with not a soul standing apart from the monster baby that we can see, crows, and of course Lo and Alone. What if the lady is aware of Lo being able to use these mirrors or this setup in some way, and uses this as a chance to get them onto the moor to make them safe? Perhaps it's in the governess's nature, this need to want to protect children. Give or take, it's probably not the best plan of action, I will say. What if the lady actually sets up a way for them to get to the moor with each mirror, or a specific mirror on the moor? And of course, if we're going off what we were saying earlier about how the mirror only has one use when it comes to this ability with Lo, maybe this is another reason that all the mirrors on the moor are broken. Maybe Lo isn't the only child that's made his way to the moor in this past time. So I know it's a bit of a funny one, and believe me, I'm with you, but let me try and explain why I think this could be possible. I think she does this by sending out a message, and this could be a message in a bottle. Now, if you've played the Depths, you'll be very familiar with that type of collectible item, as it's the runaway kid's main piece to collect throughout the Depths and the Secrets of the Moor. And this is where it gets a little bit interesting. So, let's take the message in the bottle. Let's throw it into, of course, wherever the moor's been lying around for that point, or into a specific area. And what if Lo was one of the children that managed to get the message in the bottle? And what if, in the trailer, we're not seeing just any piece of paper that Lo is holding and reading? What if it's an invitation to the moor? Similar to how we saw the moor present itself in the secret ending of Little Nightmares 2. Now, of course, that flyer of some sort has gibberish on it, and we don't know what it says. But perhaps in the world of Little Nightmares, they can read that gibberish, or that language. Perhaps it says something as silly as, use the mirrors to find the moor, or find the moor, or just something, a cry for help to let them know they're not alone and there is a place that's there for them. And of course, what if that's their end goal? What if that's Lo's end goal? What if it is to find that moor? The other thing is the possibility that perhaps Lo carries that flyer around with him, or could he have found it within the necropolis? This is why there are so many children and mirrors in the moor, and this is why we see multiple advertisements of the moor everywhere, all for the chance of saving a few children. All because the lady needed to do it, because it's how she is built. Although she looks like a monster to these kids, she really does care. Perhaps isn't going the right way about it, but at least she's making an effort, which I can't say the same for a lot of the other monsters in this world. Again, the lady's motives seem to be that of the role of the governess, and she's sticking to it even towards the end of the Little Nightmares, or whatever happens during this time. Again, this also explains the broken mirrors on the moor. They are broken either through the use of children, or so that something or someone couldn't follow the children into the moor. Perhaps the lady actually actively broke them once she knew the mirrors were used or compromised of some sort. And I think this is why we see something lurking in the mirrors, something that could be a danger to the children, to the lady. Perhaps this is the Mirror Man. Now, I'm not going to go too much detail about the Mirror Man. I know, really odd. But because of the Mirror Man's whole issue at the moment with the whole comics not being canonized, I have a specific video coming talking about him completely, as well as things like the North Wind and stuff. So I will leave that to touch upon that video there. But this is where I'm wondering, perhaps this is where the compromise happened within the Maw. This is how, when we play the Maw, we know it to have absolutely failed, to have gone so south that it just looked like a ruin. Perhaps something did follow them through the mirror when they got there, or children beforehand. But one thing I do find interesting about this whole theory, if you will, is that this kind of gives the mirror scene in the depths a whole different meaning. What if the lady saw in the mirror the Mirror Man? What if the Mirror Man was depicting what he wanted the lady to see? He was showing her what the children thought of her. After all, the lady invites them into safety just to turn them into gnomes. They think she's the monster. And perhaps this reflection is what she is tormented by so much. Even though she's trying to help, no one sees her as the positive. But anyway, let me know what you think of this little theory video. I thought we'd start with the absolute crazy ones first because they're always good fun. But of course, let me know what you think in the comments below. Let me know anything you're theorizing about at the moment. I love having a good chinwag about theories. But of course, with that being said, I've got lots and lots and lots of Little Nightmares content coming in the future. So as I said earlier, if you are interested, make sure you hit subscribe. And with that being said, have a lovely morning, day, or night, wherever you are in the world. Stay safe, and I'll see you all in the next Little Nightmares theory video.